Welcome back to Bridge of Stars. I think we've got to number 15 by now, although I am beginning to lose track of the days of the week. It's helpful to respond to the days of the week by looking at the archangels. But first of all, for your delight, let's have a look at one of the characters from the angels' script, from the writing of the angels. That's what they were called originally, the writing of the Malachim. Malach is Hebrew for a messenger, and messengers are angels, messengers of God are angels. The Greek word angel means messenger as well. So the messengers are writing messages in the sky. That's what the ancients thought. That's why they worked on their astrology, because they felt that the heaven was full of the writings of God, the writing of the divine, the heavenly writing. That's what the Babylonians called it. And the Jewish people learnt a lot from the Babylonians because they were exiled there. They were taken into capture about 500 years BCE. So a lot of the stuff that we work with in this way does come down through the Jewish tradition, but it's even older than that, much older. Even the Tree of Life, which you may know about, and which you'll discover more about if you follow Path Working with Archangels. Even the Tree of Life can be seen in the old carvings, in the palaces at Nineveh, in ancient Assyria. So, no more history lessons. Let's get down to the character for the day. So, what have we got? Okay, so this is called Sein. And Sein is receiving. Now, if you've been following these, you may notice that Sein is like a reverse character from gift, because gift, the single orb of light, is at the top and the three strands of light are coming down. So this is about receiving, and it is often said to us that it is as precious and special to receive as to give. And sometimes it's much easier to give than to receive, because there can be a great deal of pride concerning receiving, feeling that by receiving something you make the other person stronger, you give them more agency, you give them more power. And yet the flow has to go both ways. And in Jewish mysticism, they describe the blessings that flow, the shefa that flows down through creation. But it also insists that we humans, when we receive it and take it, we should put something back. So this is constant movement of the light that's directed outwards, and then the light that's reflected backwards. There are sort of technical terms in Hebrew for that. But if you think that the light comes down and the light reflects, this continuing mirroring of light, then you start to experience your life in a different way, because you're not assuming that you're the one who's got to give out all the time. You can be on the receiving end and allowing the flow to go back and forth, back and forth. That's what shefa is about. Shefa is kind of like the pulse of living. And accepting that and going with that flowing process is so enriching, is so delightful, it's so joyful. Well, you know, that's my favourite expression at the moment. Let us stay joyful and be with the flow of what is going on. If we are walking across a bridge with stars above us, and we hope a secure bridge structure beneath us, although that can seem a bit shaky right now, if we keep walking along that bridge, knowing that as we receive, we can give, and as we give back, something else receives from us, keeping that flow moving and being aware that we don't have to grasp anything. We don't have to hold stuff to ourselves all the time. And I think a huge number of people are learning this during this crisis. And we can come across the Bridge of Stars with new faces, new experiences, new ways of seeing the world, new perspectives. This is a really magical time. It's not easy, not at all easy, but it's magical. It's a process that can transform us, just like going into the chrysalis allows the caterpillar to transform into a butterfly. So when we hold that in mind every day, we can stay joyful. Stay joyful. Yes, that's the best word. I keep saying it, but it is a great, great word to use in this context. So that was receiving. Now, I'm recording this for a Wednesday. I don't know what day of the week you're watching it, but I'm following through a series at the moment. So one day a week, I'm going to introduce a different archangel who is suitable for the day. And today's archangel is Gabriel. Let me put him on the stand. Thank you, Davat. Oh. Sorry about the noise. Okay. So here is Gabriel. Gabriel's pretty special to me. About 20 odd years ago, I've lost count how many, I made a silk wall hanging of Gabriel. I'll see if I can find a photograph of him one day to show you, because he's quite large and he's not in this room. He's in my meditation room, but he's about 6 foot tall. So if I can find a photograph of him, I'll show it to you, maybe on the following Wednesday. Okay, so one archangel for every day of the week, right? And this is Gabriel's day, Wednesday. It's Mercredi in French, and it's Mercury's day. Now, a lot of people associate Gabriel with the moon, and that's quite classic, actually. You find that in quite a lot of places, including Rudolf Steiner. Now, I have to just say that my experience and also my kind of intellectual kind of concept about Mercury and Gabriel is that it's really obvious, because Gabriel is such a messenger boy. And he brings a message to Mary, and he brings a message to Muhammad, and he does lots of things in other stories that are so appropriate for Mercury, who's also called Hermes in Greek tradition. If you want to find out more about Gabriel, this is my plug. Get onto the Path Working with Archangels course. It's completely free, and we will be going through all the archangels in more detail than I've got time for now. But think about Mercury if you are involved in anything that's to do with communication, and communication with words, or communication with music, or communication with dance, anything that communicates the beauty of the divine. And poets and musicians and dancers, they are all expressing the divine and communicating it to other people through their different medium. So, and education, right? Education is a big thing at the moment because the school children are at home and the parents have got to step in and do different kind of education. And I feel they shouldn't get anxious about that. In fact, my suggestion might be, get up in the morning with your children and say, what would you like to learn about today? Let's not even think about what the school would tell you ought to learn today. Let parents say, what would you like to learn about today? And then go on the internet and discover things. discover things that they might not even get a whisper of in the school system. And that might allow your child to discover something that's unique to them, or some new concept that they might not, as I say, even get a whisper of in the school system. I mean, when I came to astrology, it was because my aunt sent me a birthday card. When I was 9 years old, I got a birthday card from my aunt with a picture of a lamb on it. Right? And inside she said, "You really are a little lamb. Ask your mother." I'll never forget this moment. It's really vivid to me. So I went to my mother and I said, "Okay, what's this about the lamb?" And she said, "Oh, that's because Betty," that's my Aunt Betty, is interested in astrology, and you are an Aries, which is a lamb or a ram. When you're little, you're a lamb. Okay, and my mother had an astrology book, which had been given to her by her sister, my aunt, and I discovered astrology. I was only 9 years old. Would the school teachers have ever mentioned it? No, not at all. So there you go. Some opportunities can arise for the children to find out something a bit different, and it might take them on a very special path, their unique destiny. That's my suggestion for the day. I think that's one that's come straight from Gabriel, actually. So don't forget to sign up for Path Working with Archangels, and then you'll just get a load more of stuff when I do a whole lesson about Gabriel. So, Bridge of Stars, here we come. Where is Bridge of Stars? Message. Now, one of the things I can also say about Gabriel is that he is a psychopompus. That means he guides souls between life and death. And that's what Mercury Hermes does as well. So that's another connection. And so this time I've brought you a little message about no fear to die. It's very short. It comes from Emerson, one of the transcendentalists in America in the 19th century. It's very short, but it talks about the stars. Teach me your mood, O patient stars, who climb each night the ancient sky, leaving on space no shade, no scars, no trace of age, no fear to die. So the stars are patient. The stars are patient, and they have no fear to die. So whatever is going on in your life, and I do hope that you are not having to deal with the death of loved ones, but remember, the stars are patient, and we can be patient, and there actually is no fear to die. When a person dies, for the most part, in the actual process of dying, there is no fear, because they are visited by loved ones and by beings of light, angels, guides, who support them on their journey. So remember that if you have to deal with loved ones dying, and Gabriel will support that process for you and for them. Stay joyful. As Emerson says, stay patient, but also stay joyful. Blessings. I'll be back tomorrow.